In Moscow, Idaho is active tonight as the search for the killer in a quadruple murder now enters week 3. Police did tow the victims' cars away from the house today to a secure location. It comes as the prosecutor says they don't have a suspect or even a name. Let's bring in senior national correspondent Brian Enton, who has traveled to Moscow. He is live for us. So, Brian, what did you make of police not saying specific victims were targeted? Could that mean the house was targeted?
It sounds like that's what they're alluding to. I mean, this has been really confusing since the beginning, Nichole, because they used the word targeted but didn't elaborate. And it was frustrating for the victims' families and for the people who live here in the town because they didn't know exactly what that meant. We didn't know exactly what that meant. I had a chance to ask the prosecutor about it today. He was clear that they don't have any evidence that one specific victim was targeted. He says it appears the house was targeted by the suspect, but he actually told me he doesn't even really like that police initially used that word to describe it all.
All right. So Brian, we did tell viewers that we asked them to send in questions via Twitter. Our viewers did just that, so we want to get to some of them. So let's go back to them towing away the victims' cars just today. The question is, why are they just doing this now?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's been, more than 2 weeks, and they decided to do this today. They are not giving us exact details of why. Is there something in the investigation that led them to do this? They are telling us, though, that they're taking the cars to a secure location where they can do more crime scene processing of them.
And Brian, before we move on from that, I have a question. Does that mean that those cars were not processed already?
Well, we've seen them inside the cars, so they've definitely gone inside here in the parking lot of the house, but maybe there's something they can do more detailed at a different location. I mean, it snowed nonstop over the last day, so you'd think if there were any prints or anything on the outside of the car, that clearly, has been altered at this point. It's supposed to snow 6 inches tonight. Maybe they just wanted to get them inside a garage where they'll be safe.
All right. And Brian, before we let you go, another viewer is asking, quote, I still don't understand if they have 0 leads and no POI, no person of interest, why not offer a reward?
Another good question. A lot of people asking it. Why not put out a big reward? It's obviously a tool in the toolbox of these investigators. Perhaps at this point, they're thinking that enough tips are coming in. I mean, they're getting a lot of tips, they tell us every day, that they don't need to offer the reward at this point. Maybe down the line, if things really go cold, then they'll go in that direction.
All right, Brian Enton live on the scene there for us in Moscow. Thank you for that, Brian. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.